Hi guys, Silent Magicians here. Remember, I've recently improved the Skull Servant deck. As you know, before I made a deck quickly on the train, and it failed miserably.
It was horrible. I lost
But this time, I have spent a full couple of weeks focusing on building this deck, and I'll show you. And I'll start with these. Right, 3 Skull Servants. Obviously, it wouldn't be a Skull Servant deck. Right, put that aside. Three Lady in Whites. Quite handy. They're both quite handy because it protects level 1 monsters from being destroyed or targeted by card effects. Well, spell and traps anyway. But that's not the main reason why they're in the deck. 3 King of Skull Servants. Very powerful card. It hasn't been known to take out Cliff Orcs. Well, that's on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro anyway. But I haven't been able to test it out at a proper tournament yet. 2 White Mares. Handy if my opponent keeps banishing my monsters. So I can just keep discarding it to bring it back. And the reason why I have 3 Skull Servants and 3 Lady in Whites is because I have White Prince. But I had to have 3, but now I've only put 2 in. I'll explain later on. Now I've got 2 Summoner Monks to get level 4 monster out so I can quickly XE summon, like Zombie Master. Zombie Monster lets me discard 1 card, bring back any zombie from the grave, as long as it's level 4 lower. So, you know, King of Skull Servants, or you know, even another level 4 monster like 2 Pyramid Turtles. So I can have an XE summon, or summon another Zombie Master. You know, Pyramid Turtle lets me get my King out or my Zombie Master out, so I can get more than 1 monster out at the same time. 2 Dark Greffers, very important card for the deck. Let me send White Prince to the grave from the deck or hand. Yeah, and I guess if I can get King to the graveyard as well, I'll be easily able to summon him as well without any trouble, unless they have like what's it called, the trap card. Never mind, forget it. 2 Masked Chameleons. Yeah, the two guess we bring back a monster with 0 defense points from my graveyard. Quite handy for cards like White Prince and King of the Skull Servants, even a Zombie Master, so I can synchro summon for level 5 or level 8. Yeah, no problem is I won't be able to special summon other monsters apart from the extra deck. That's a downfall. And finally, Debris Dragon, which lets me summon a monster with 5 attack points or less, so I can bring cards back like White Prince or Lady in White and then synchro summon for level 7. So yeah, that's all the monsters. Now for the spells. Start with 1 Foolish Burial, which lets me send White Prince to the grave, or King to the grave. Mostly White Prince, so I can send another 2 to the grave. 1 Reinforcement to the army, which adds Dark Greffer to my hand quicker. Or I can use it as discard fodder for Summoner Monk. 2 Forbidden Dresses, a card I've recently just added in. Stops my monsters from being targeted or destroyed by card effects, which is quite a problem for monster effects, because spell and traps I don't have trouble with, but the monster effects I really do have trouble with. So Forbidden Dress, I hope people shut them out. 3 Mystical Space Typhoons, stops like skill drain and other trap cards that really annoy me. 2 Polymerizations. Yes, 2 Polymerizations. No, for a fusion monster in my deck I'll show you later on. 1 Recurring Nightmare, Soul Charge, and finally 2 Forbidden Lances, which helps in case my opponent has a spell trap card and I don't have Lady in White on the field. And also it can decrease the opponent's points by 800 points, so it might deal them damage unsuspectedly. And finally the traps, just the 3 basic cards: Torrential Tribute, Bottomless Trap Hole, and Compulsory. Torrential Tribute isn't as effective as I like it to be. The other 2 cards are really good because they don't go to the grave, they go and banish them more. Add them back to the hand. So yeah, them 2 are the best, but Torrential Tribute seems to have a lot, doesn't help me as often as I'd like it to. Okay, the extra deck. Start with Gaga Cowboy. I've had situations where I've got my opponent down to 500, 400 life points, and I've never been able to, all of a sudden they do a massive comeback and win. So I've had Gaga Cowboy to make sure to finish them off. 1 Lavarval Chain, which lets me send White Prince to the grave, help me move things on, or add King of the Skull Servants to the top. 1 Ragnar Zero. Some people tend to like overpowering their cards, so I thought, you know, something that will stop that in this track, so let me draw power. 1 Number 101, in which lets me take control of any special summon monster, you know, use it an XC, so I've got like a shield for it. 1 King of the Fell Imps, which lets me add Masked Chameleon to my hand, so I can get a synchro summon for level 8. Number 66, Master Key Beetle. 2 level 4 dark monsters, so like Dark Greffer or Summoner Monk, so I can protect my King of Skull Servants from being destroyed by card effects. Exciting Knight, It really helps me against, you know, cards, people that've got a lot of power. Too much cards on the field when I've only got many at all. The Dragon Necro Never Soul Dragon, that's what I need the polymerization for. It only needs 2 zombie monsters to summon, and it's quite a powerhouse for 3,000 points. And it also has the ability to make, if it attacks a monster, it has the ability to make its attack points down to 0, and I get a token of the monster's attack if it's a normal monster, you know, like a, if it's got a level. But if it's a ranked monster, it just reduces attack points down to 0. So it's, you know, it's really handy. 1 Black Rose Dragon to nuke the field in case I need it. 3 Samsaras, Dragon of Rebirth, which is what I need, like, because I can use Masked Chameleon and Debris Dragon to bring back White Prince, Single Sun for level 5, and then I can send 2 more Skull Servants to the grave, which will help power up my king. Yeah, and when it's destroyed, I get the summon a monster back from the graveyard. Stardust Dragon and Red Dragon Archfiend. Usually, I'd rather have these 2. If it's not in tournaments, I'll have these 2. But because it's tournaments, because I'm playing in tournaments, these 2 can't be used. So I'm temporarily using these 2 at the moment. And that's pretty much the Skull Servant profile. And I hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe.